My world that I want to have a little pride in. My world, and it's not a place I have to hide in. Life's not worth a damn till you can say I am what I am.
Years ago, when I was a college student in the late 80s, I used to go to this homosexual club. And then, as all homosexual clubs were at the time, it was very underground because homosexuality was illegal at the time. And that even finding other gays, it was difficult. You had to be Jessica Fletcher just to find another gay. And before the internet, kids, you wouldn't like if I took this phone away from you and said, find another gay, how would you do that? Do you understand? And so, so I found this place, and it was on Eli Place, and it was called Minsky's. And you would go in there, and then there was a fabulous gay who would take your coat into the stairwell. And then you went into a nice room that had sort of Georgian furniture. And then you went downstairs, and it was a filthy den of iniquity. I loved it, obviously. And all these people were inventing new ways of being happy with, the Pointer Sisters and poppers. But sometimes you'd go in the nice room, and at the bar, there'd be like 4 leather queens and Anne Doyle. And let me just say, she still looks really good in leather. Respect. Shall we continue? And now earlier on we had David Norris, and when I saw that he was on the running order, I was a little concerned that he might feel awkward being the only Protestant on the bill. And so I thought we could probably fix that situation. So we all got our heads together to try and think of another Protestant, and then I remembered, I know one. And her name is Bunny O'Hare. Another blonde icon. Phyllis and Madonna, everybody. Give it up for Phyllis and Madonna. Where would we be without them? I'm going to leave you in the capable Protestant hands of Bunny.
It's very rare that Panty and I are seen together on a stage, and this will hopefully stop all of you from coming up to me on a Saturday night and telling me how inspirational that speech that I made in the Abbey was. I still sign the book, but I charge a £5 for the autograph. Anyway, I've never performed anywhere like this before, and it's a huge honour, and I'm a little bit nervous to be here, and so I couldn't think of anything to do, but then something very special happened to me this year, and since we're celebrating 50 years since the Stonewall riots, I thought I would tell you a little story about my actual real life, and admit that I'm actually a person under this. When I'm sober. I got married this year. I'm as shocked as you are. He doesn't know about any of this. And we've been together about 10 years, and both of us are very aware of the fact that we stand on the shoulders of giants, and if it wasn't for certain people, we wouldn't be able to live the lives that we live. And so we got married outside the Stonewall Inn on the anniversary of the Stonewall riots. Best decision I ever made, best day of my life, worst hangover ever the next day. You know you've made a series of choices when you have to go down to reception in the hotel at 4 in the morning and ask for a toilet plunger. Anyway, but something happened that day. And to explain it and to give it a bit of context, I've been doing drag exactly half my lifetime. I've been doing it since I was a teenager, and it literally saved my life. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for drag. And so, ever since I started doing drag, on every dress, on every suitcase and everything, I write MPJ. Because even though I don't really particularly have a faith, if guardian angels exist, Marsha P. Johnson is my guardian angel. And weirdly enough, my husband feels the same way about Silvia Riveria. And if there's anyone out there that doesn't know who Marsha or Silvia are, they were they were called drag queens at the time, but they were trans and they just weren't recognized as such. But they were people of color, and they were involved in the Stonewall riots, and there's a lot of rumor as to who started the Stonewall riots. I always mention the fact that someone who got written out of history was a Cuban drag king called Stonewall Inn, who reportedly threw a bag of coins and started the whole bloody thing off, because it's always going to be a lesbian that wins the war. And as usual, they always want to write me out of history. But Marsha and Silvia were very, very heavily involved. And they ended up to go on, later on, to start a charity called STAR, which stood for Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries. And it was in the height of the AIDS crisis. And it was a house that Marsha had got from one of her clients as a prostitute. And she let about 36 homeless gay kids and trans kids live for free. And there's plenty of people that are alive today if it wasn't for them. It only lasted about a year and a half, but STAR was a recognised charity and it did unbelievable work. And so, Neil and I, Silvia and Marsha are heroes. The wedding ceremony lasted 1 minute because we aren't mature enough to have any sort of proper ceremony. And when I say the second it finished, this Puerto Rican homeless girl came over to us, and she was clearly homeless because she had a rucksack on and she had a crack pipe in her other hand. And she saw two gays in fancy suits, so she clearly thought, you know. So, she came over and started telling us her story. And she had her name tattooed on her chest. And she was called Stargirl. And we gave her about $700 that day. But whether you believe in these things or not, she was our blessing. And she blessed our marriage. And she was sent to us by Marsha and Silvia, and I really believe that. And the reason why I'm telling you this, I think cute, innocuous little story, rather than doing the drag ballad of Celine Dion like you all wanted me to, I know, is because we are 50 years since the Stonewall riots. And believe it or not, our country is a beacon of hope to people around the world because we have marriage equality. And thank God we voted right and gave women the right to make their own decisions to their own bodies. Thank God. Thank God we all just grew up a little bit as a nation. And so we are that beacon of hope to all those people around the world. And the reason I'm telling you the story about Stargirl is because as we move forward and we're in this gorgeous, gentrified, a little bit pretentious venue, there's a grand piano in Panty's dressing room. She can only play the theme tune from Blind Date. But as we move forward into the next 50 years, I would urge you all, as people that can clearly afford to be out on a Monday night, to please support, care, and love for the people that are ostracized, and that are on the borders, and that can't assimilate, and can't fit in and can't find a home and can't find a title or a name or respect, because it was those people that threw the bricks, that started it all, that let us sit here tonight. Thank you.
My world that I want to have a little pride in. My world, and it's not a place I have to hide in. Life's not worth a damn till you can say I am.